Hi, everyone. If you're done with your pre-lab, it's time to do data analysis for the ball rolling off the table right here. So the first thing I want everyone to do is make sure that your movie is at the beginning. So right now you can see that my movie is not at the beginning. I have it all the way at the end because I've been watching the ball roll off the table. So I'm going to come over to the left side of my controls, and I'm going to click to bring this movie all the way back to the beginning. And this is going to give me the first screen that just tells me some information about my movie that's going to be important. The next thing I want to do is open up the control panel for the Logger Pro video analysis. So if you come down to the lower right-hand corner of your video, you're going to see a button that has 3 red dots and a triangle. I want you to click on that. And when you do that, you're going to get a new bar of controls for your video. So let's real quick go over what these do. The first button right here, this just takes your mouse and turns it back into a cursor in case you've turned your mouse into something else when you're working through this. So when you're done, you should always turn your mouse back into a cursor so you don't accidentally take data. The first button we are going to want to use is the ruler and set scale tool. So right now, Logger Pro just knows that you have a movie imported into it, but it doesn't know anything about this movie. Logger Pro can't read the words on the screen, and so you have to tell the computer what the scale of the things in the movie are. So by clicking right here on this set scale button, it's going to let us tell Logger Pro that this line right here is 1 meter. So you're just going to click and drag so that we get this green line that shows this being 1 meter. Now, the automatic default scale is 1 meter, but if for some reason this wasn't 1 meter, we could change this. We're going to go ahead and leave it as 1 meter and say OK. And this lets Logger Pro know that this is a meter, which means if the ball moves 1 meter in this direction, Logger Pro will know. If it falls down 1 meter, Logger Pro will know, and it'll be able to measure any fraction of a meter that the ball moves. The next thing I want to do is set the origin for Logger Pro. So this button right here is the Set Origin button. And the reason we're doing that is even though you can't see it, Logger Pro thinks of this movie as a giant XY axis. And Logger Pro automatically is going to put the origin of that axis at the bottom. But I actually don't want the origin at the bottom. I want the origin to be where the ball starts. So at time 0, the ball is at a position of 0. So I'm going to go ahead and click that Set Origin button. And then you can see that my mouse has turned into a crosshair. And because I have the movie selected at the beginning, I can say that this point where I'm at a time of 0, you can see my time right here is 0. I want to make this point be where a position of 0 is. So when I click right here, it's going to say that that's the origin of the giant XY axis that Logger Pro is thinking about this having. So now I set the origin, and you want to be careful because if you accidentally click somewhere else, oh no, it'll reset the origin. Don't worry, we can always put it back to where it was before. And this is where this cursor comes into play. If you don't want to accidentally click on something and reset the origin, just turn your mouse back into a cursor. Now when you click, you're not going to accidentally save or change anything that you already set. So the next thing we want to tell Logger Pro is where this ball is as time goes on, because we want to make a position versus time graph and a velocity versus time graph. And so we're going to do that by using this button right here where we set the points. It's going to add a point that says where the ball is. So I'm going to click on this, and again, my mouse turns into a crosshair. And I'm going to come over to where the ball is at time 0, which is the origin. And when I click on this, it told the Logger Pro program that at time 0, the ball was right here. And then can you see that the frame automatically advanced to the next frame in the movie? So now we have a new time, and Logger Pro is thinking, where's the ball now? Well, we're going to tell it the ball is right here. So we're going to carefully click right in the middle of the ball, and you can see it advanced again, giving me a new time, and Logger Pro again wondering, where's the ball now? So I'm going to again click right in the middle of this ball, being careful. And I'm just going to do that to let Logger Pro know as time goes on, Here's the position of this ball. And just be careful that you really are clicking on the dead center of the ball every single time, because Logger Pro can't see where the ball is. You're giving it a picture of where the ball is in time. As you're doing this, you should notice that a graph is growing. And can you see that now what I have is a picture of the ball falling off the table? Now the next thing I'm going to do is turn my cursor back into just a cursor. So if I accidentally click somewhere, it's not going to make a new data point. But let's say I did. Let's say I made a mistake and I forgot to turn this cursor back into a cursor and I accidentally clicked here and here. Oh, that's going to start making some weird data points, right? Let's say you make a mistake. You gathered your data and this data does not look good at all. You think you didn't click in the middle of the ball and you accidentally clicked on the table once because you made a mistake. You can always redo your data. And the way you're going to do that is you're just going to go to Data and say Clear All Data. It gives you a new starting position, a brand new graph and a brand new table. We can bring this right back to the beginning, making sure we've highlighted the Add Point tool, and we can go ahead and just gather all our data again, being really careful this time, making sure that we're clicking smack dab in the middle of the ball. Once you have your data all collected, you're feeling good about the fact that you have accurate data of the ball as a function of time right here. We're going to go ahead, turn our cursor back into a cursor so we don't accidentally collect data points without realizing it. And we're going to look at the graph that we made. So automatically, this graph gives you two lines. It gives you one line that represents in red the X position of the ball, or the horizontal position of the ball as a function of time. It gives you another line, this one in blue, the Y position of the ball, or the vertical position of the ball as a function of time. Now, maybe you don't want to look at these two at the same time. Maybe you only want to look at one. And you can do that just by clicking on the axis and saying, I'd only like to see the X position. Maybe you only want to see the Y position. Maybe you'd like to see the horizontal velocity. Maybe you'd like to see the vertical velocity. So you can change these to look at what you want to look at while you're analyzing your data. So go ahead, look back at that Google document, and you can click on your graphs and cut and paste anything into there. Remember that when you're doing a curve fit, you can come up to Analyze, go to Curve Fit, and you can choose linear or quadratic for your fits. If you're finding this easy, make sure everyone at your table is finding it easy as well. If other people in class have questions, it would be great if you guys helped each other out. And I will have one more video coming just to make sure everyone knows how to save their data.